Oh man, nothing beats huffing down some rubbing alcohol. I'm telling you, it has a real nice sting to it. How you doing today, Frozen?
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm leaving.
It's very similar to the last stream. I believe in the last stream, I asked how are you doing, and then you were like, "I'm not fine. How are you? I am good." And then you had a conversation with yourself, if I remember correctly. And then I compared you to Mr. Beat, which I still hold that comparison to be true. You are very much so like like Mr. Beat, very, very much so. I figured I should be very clear there. So hello everybody, welcome to this is the second weekend workshop on Project New Tomorrow. Shout out Project New Tomorrow for letting us do this here.
Thank you, Soy.
Thanks, Soyce. So, what do you think we're going to be doing today, Frozen? What's on the itinerary?
So, today we are going to be continuing the build that we started last time. Particularly, today I think our main goal is going to be to make a concrete outline for each of the rides and attractions that we previously planned.
I think that might be a little bit far-fetched, given that we have the 4 attractions, only one has a show building. So let's just focus on the dark ride. Let's focus on the dark ride for now, and then if we get that done, obviously we can move on to doing other outlines. So let's work on that. Why don't we? That'd be a good idea. So we're just gonna go above here, going on the actual platform with all the outlines. Now, this was a month ago, so I'll give you guys a refresher. This land is a Western-themed land. Kind of Western. Not like, Mesa Desert, but, like forests. Kind of like Midwest, where you still have mountain forest areas. Set in the late 1800s. So, like 1880s, right, Frozen? 1880s, 1890s?
Right.
Around then?
He's probably like, I don't want to say, it could be Appalachian, it could even be in Georgia. Well, I guess there aren't mountains in Georgia, but
there are mountains in Georgia.
Well, there are a few mountains in fine. It could be in Georgia. It could be in West Virginia. It could even be in Wyoming if you're using your imagination.
No.
The point is,
not Wyoming.
We're not in the desert.
Yeah, exactly. So this building right here that I'm looking at, this is the main entrance to our C-Ticket Dark Ride. Should be inside this show building.
I do not think we made any concrete plans for that dark ride.
Let's do that today. Let's figure out what we're going to do there.
In fact, I'm pretty sure we just said we're building a dark ride. And
then this is just surrounding exteriors to make the show building look natural. They're all obviously outlines. And this is going to be a very long series, us building out this land. So bear with us. You're going to see this land very, very slowly but surely transform over the coming months, possible years. Depending on the pace of these workshops. So yeah, Frozen, let's get this show on the road. Let's first decide, step 1, what this land has and what it needs in a dark ride. So let's go to our attractions list. The attractions list is down here. You could TP to me to access it.
Now, Jacob over here seems to need to refer to a list to remember the attractions that he was putting in his theme park land. However, clearly, if you need to do that, you're not invested enough or motivated enough in your project, because he's forgetting that we are doing a coaster, a dark ride, a slide, and a play area. So between those...
You're wrong.
Wait, wrong? No. That's what we agreed on.
No, you're wrong. There's one other thing on the board.
What is it?
You should TP.
This is where I would ban you if we were not
Advanced bathrooms. You missed that one, Frozen.
Okay. My point being, those
That's
other
the 5th attraction.
We could add, dark ride scenes to the roller coaster, whatever. But by and large, this dark ride is going to be our main story-driven content within this land. We need to give
that is true.
I'd say, a strong story, whereas these other attractions, I mean, the play area is more of a small bonus, but like the slide and especially the coaster are going to be focused more on fast-paced thrill. So
I
I
agree.
think this ride should be more slow-paced and story-driven to balance out the rest of the land. We could make it an action dark ride. We could make it more of a calm and serene dark ride. It doesn't matter as much. It's just that it should probably be more slow-moving and really based on
So
atmosphere.
if I
and
remember
story.
correctly, brown wool equals gift shop. So we're gonna have the ride then exit here into this gift shop, I
Yes.
presume.
Yes.
This is the
That,
exit
well,
gift shop,
yeah. That was the
and
big
this is the
exit gift shop
entrance
I
right
made, I
here.
remember.
That's a great idea, Frozen. That's brilliant. So let's start working. So do you want to do a line outline first, or do you want to just figure out the story that we're gonna go for?
Usually, I mean, like I say, we should come up with the story, and then as far as like the queue, I like to kind of start, especially with like something like this where we already have our entrance building. I like to just place down the ride track first, and then kind of do the queue later. Wouldn't do that
Mm-hmm.
all the time, but since we've already done our facades, it's probably the best choice. So we need to decide upon a story. I don't think we should do something particularly revolutionary for this.
No,
We
let's
should
do a
really
very
just,
basic.
yeah,
Let's do a basic attraction because we don't need. We're not trying to impress here. We're trying to show, right?
obviously.
So,
The main thing, of course, to consider is that this is really in the town center of the land, so we don't want to walk in here and immediately be inside a mine or something.
let's do.
Probably
Do you
some-
remember the concept that we've worked with before? That's have been done in this type of land multiple times, and you know what I'm going to say: firefighting. Um, we could do that. It's pretty simple. Works in the town. You know, fire started in a festival or something like that. And then you have to go around the town. You see hijinks. You see people putting out the fires, all that stuff. You want to do that?
I feel like that's too generic, actually. I
That
don't know
is
if I
a
wanna do
very.
fire.
It's a very generic theme. I agree.
Dude.
We're talking that's an ultra generic theme.
I don't know. I had an idea that I've kind of stored away for couple.
Yeah,
of
what's
years.
your
What if we
idea?
did, like, what if we did like a murder mystery dark ride of some kind? I mean, it's the Wild West, or in this case, the Appalachian West. It's very easy for someone to get away with murder. What if we followed like a murder plot throughout the ride?
That's a good idea. I think that'd be a brilliant idea.
Could
So
be
then
a-
let's start this. So I have a great idea. Let's make this facade the courthouse. And the beginning is you're starting in the court trial, and the
Oh
ride is
my God.
recounting
Yeah,
recounting a witness witnessing what happened.
this is a good
You
idea.
down for that?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's the best idea I can make for them.
And I would say for the ride system for this, let's keep it simple. Let's do like just like a simple dark ride vehicle. We'll have the seats turn, maybe something like cat and mouse, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna then start figuring out a line idea. So I'm gonna bring it through the beginning of the courthouse. So we got to go through the entrance, and then we got to
Right.
go into the courtroom. Let's have. How do we want? How do we want the station to be? Do we want the station like in front of the stands in the courtroom? Do we want the station to be like how are we gonna do it?
I would say
Oh, we could.
have
I have an
guy.
interesting idea that could work. It just depends on how we do it. Let me think. Give me your idea first.
I was going to propose the fairly simple idea of just making it like the waiting room. You go through your first set of crash doors, and then you're in the courtroom. First scenes in the courtroom. You kind of after that you not travel back in time, but you enter like the flashback, which is the scenes recounting the murder and everything, different witness testimony. I think the best way to frame this ride would be like Cat in the Hat, where it's almost like different characters.
Not a
you
bad
get
idea, but
one
I have
witness,
I have another
and then
idea.
This is what happened, and then you witness that scene.
My idea is you get on in the waiting room, okay? The first scene is the courtroom, and your
Right.
car stands there for a minute, and the judge turns to you and says, "Now, witness, please give your testimony as to what happened. And then you go straight. The wall opens up, and then you enter the scene.
Okay.
Which one would you prefer to do? Yours is more simple, obviously.
Right.
Either way, you start working on your layout. I'm going to start working on a line.
Yeah. Okay.
All right?
We'll decide the intricacies of this story later.
The block, blah, blah, blah.
I don't know if the station should be probably. No, it's not a bad place for it. Unfortunately, I'm
Who the hell is this guy? Frozen. Who the hell is Virgo, though? XD. He keeps following me. I'm just landing, and he's like chasing me down.
I think that's a you problem. You gotta keep working.
Yeah, I do. Now we're gonna do fast pass and standby.
I would say just keep it simple. Do standby. No fast pass. We aren't like Disney. We don't really want to artificially inflate the wait time.
How can you say that? It's so not true. They don't inflate those times at all. Station's right there.
Yeah.
I love Disney wait times. I don't think that's true, Bryce. I really don't think that's true. I think you're bullshitting me. I think you're a liar.
We should do like a big circular. I assume we gotta make it, nice and nice.
A big circular room.
I think it would be cool.
Well, you made the station a little close for me.
Hold up, I'm thinking about this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it like that. How about it?
Can you move your station, please?
Okay. Why do you want
move your station?
What is this little circular room here?
You told me to make a circular room.
No, I was making a circular courtroom. It's the first scene on the ride.
Oh, you liar! You lying little sack of shit! You told me you're making a circular room. No, you told you told me to make a circular room.
I thought we agreed that the courtroom was going to be on the ride.
Okay, you know what? Fine. Deal with it. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. It's okay.
Right.
It is okay. Dick.
Hey. It's a Christian Minecraft server.
I'm joking, Frozen. You're great. We've worked together for far too long. Angry American on work.
Indeed. Okay. Think about how I'm gonna do this. So I think I'll do.
Man.
I'm gonna make a spherical.
Okay, I am gonna move your station like 2 blocks.
Wait.
It's getting moved. It's getting moved 2 blocks. Yeah, there you go.
That was the wrong command.
What the? Oh, there we go. I saw a weird glitch where on my end, the glass didn't have the proper texturing.
Oh. Okay, so we have the room, right? This is the courtroom, the sphere. the cylinder, the circle. It's a circle. So what we're gonna do is have the track go around the courtroom, so it doesn't have to stop. So you'll have like a long scene in this kind of big room that plays out.
Shouldn't what be centered M64? Oh yeah, it should be. But good old Frozen doesn't know how to build.
Centered where? Centered on what?
On your mom.
No, seriously, like centered upon what?
I don't know. Ask M64, it's not me.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry, I'm working on that. I'm working on centering the track. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the center point real quick. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be right here on this block of lime wool. And then, what I'm gonna do.
So first, come here, come over here.
One second.
You enter the courthouse in this first room.
Yep.
Okay. And then you go into like a little waiting room over here. All right.
Yep.
Second room. Third room, this is like big hall with like American flags and all that stuff, like something you see before you enter the courtroom, right?
Okay.
Then station. And then it's your territory.
Okay. You think we should have a jail in the queue?
We could put the jail in the queue. Do you want me to extend the queue a bit? Do a jail?
Your choice.
It's actually very easy to do it. There's a perfect spot where it could go.
Right next to the bathrooms, the interactive bathrooms.
Exactly, right next to the advanced bathrooms.
Okay, so what I did is I made a circular piece of track, so that way it's just kind of going to go around the room, and then at the end of this room, I'm going to have it split off into a different scene.
Look, we can have the jail here.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'll admit, normally I don't make a ride this heavy concept, so we're going to have you entering kind of a flashback where you give your account of what happened or someone.
It's actually like a really cool idea.
But the truth is, we don't have a ton to go off of so far. Aside from that, we could include different locales. We could have something happen in a bar. We could have something happen in a theater. But right now, I think I'm going to do the rest of the layout in such a way so that maybe we don't have to decide the exact rest of the details of the story just
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I think that's a very good idea. There we go. All right. So everybody, as you can see, outlining plays a major role in every single facet of building a land. From your ride design, to your line design, to your exteriors, every single thing relies on outlining. It is genuinely connected to all facets of building. I'm going to throw a bone to Growmaster Bryce in chat really quickly. Growmaster Bryce, wouldn't you agree that outlining is essential? Yeah. See everybody? Even Growmaster Bryce thinks it is. So therefore, it must be. Very simply. It must be. /kill Kanai Redstone. And he's dead. Wow, that was really weird. I don't know how that happened. Frozen, do you know how Kanai just died?
You
Any
killed him?
idea?
You're a murderer?
Yeah,
Look, we're pretty ruthless here on PNT. We won't lie. Killing guests is just something that happens.
it is, yeah. I agree.
So I'm kind of, as I'm going, I know I said I didn't want to establish exact story details, but I'm kind of building a rough idea in my head as to roughly how it's going to go. So I'm thinking you go through the courtroom doors, as you're told to give your testimony or your witness account or whatever. Um, then you kind of start like your own journey. So blackness for a second, whatever. Then you kind of enter the town. It's like the story of when you first came to town. You were strolling through, going to your hotel or whatever. We see maybe a scene just like in the main street where things are happening. Maybe setting up
Mm-hmm.
the details of the crime, just introducing the various characters in this murder mystery.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
I'm setting up a walling right now where pillars are going to be. Trying to set it up to be even, you know? It's one of the great
Where are you doing this?
difficulties.
Oh, you're working on the queue. Okay.
It's not hard if you've been doing it for a while. What's Alex Kyle talking about?
Uh, I would assume, just generally speaking, if I'm not mistaken, Alex, because it is true that the longer you've been doing any of these things, whether it be terrain, outlining, building, whatever, it does start to become more so second nature.
That
For
is true.
instance, terrain is much easier for Jacob because he's been doing it longer than I have. I mean, that's not to say it's not easy for me, but it's definitely like it requires me to think a bit more. Just to do like an easier piece.
You don't know what just happened, but President, come here. So Fergo threw me this book. Just go take a look at this book.
Let's see what's
Open
in
it.
the book.
I read through it and I killed him immediately. He was immediately executed.
You just wasted 30 seconds of this stream with this book. How do you feel?
That is a tremendous amount of gibberish.
Here, Brex,
A
read
lot.
the book. Read the book, Brex.
Give me the book.
Let's pass the book around.
It's interesting to say the least. Are you guys on a plot? Yes.
Whose plot is this? I don't actually know.
Mine. Or Chez's. Yeah, it's Chez's.
Okay. Let's see.
Mine.
Mine now.
A crime against literacy. What's in the book?
Well, I'm trying to take our existing square and just snake the dark ride track through it in such a way where I'm making the most efficient use of the space that we gave it. I want to have a good long dark ride using every area, because if there's this little sliver that I didn't use here, maybe we can use that for something else. We don't want to just let it go to waste.
Yep, that's true. You definitely don't want that to go to waste. You want to maximize the space that you're using. And that's one of the reasons why outlining is so important. You know, if you just start building scene after scene, right? The problem is, because it's not properly planned, you might not be able to do what you want to do. You might not be able to do the whole story. might just run out of room midway through and have to just completely refigure out what you're doing. You know, it's very important to properly outline so you can set aside space for all your scenes that you need.
I
Wouldn't
agree.
you say so, Frozen?
I mean, I've had times, especially in the past, um, I would build rides. I wouldn't do the track first. I would just kind of like. I remember I had this ride in one of my first ever parks where I had this weird, like, underground area, this small sliver. And I thought, oh, I can fit a ride in here. I built each scene as I went, and by the end, I had to essentially make it just like a basic 1 by 2 block tunnel to get you back up to the station.
Yes, so for reference, Frozen, the Wild Ride on KW Sixcraft. If we didn't outline that thing, that space was so constrained that I know for a fact if we just, did whatever, it would have not worked at all. Outlining
Right.
is just, especially for dark rides, in spaces that in pre-existing areas, right? I mean, all rides in general should be outlined properly. But especially if you're working in pre-existing areas, you need to meticulously outline. Like, you need to do it. It is absolutely important. Like, there's no way around it,
Mm-hmm.
Why did you not center this?
Not center
What is
what?
wrong with you?
Not center
Look at
what?
this. Look at this.
What's not centered?
This
What's not
track
centered?
is not centered either entering or exiting the room.
Centered with what?
The room
What's the
is
problem with that?
uncentered.
It's just exiting the circle at a random point. Doesn't have to be centered.
Yeah. Fine. That's how you want to do it. You could do that, but like, you're
Wait a
killing me,
minute.
Frozen.
I just figured out what your actual complaint was.
You're killing
Let's
me,
fix
man.
that. Generally, folks, you're gonna want it to be centered if you can make it centered. Just because.
Oh,
it
now
makes
you're
it
correcting
that-
yourself.
That much nicer. I fully endorse the centering of Dark Ride track.
Center it here. Center it onto that.
Oh! Well,
Come
hold on a
on,
second.
dude. Come on. It's definitely looking good. It's looking good. We're definitely getting some progress here. So, come on me, StreamCam, please, TP. Go look at my screen. So, as we said,
We can't really.
this is going to be a
center it.
courthouse
Well,
facade.
yeah.
Courthouse. You're then going to enter the courthouse. It's going to be like a main atrium room. You go through here. Another small line room. This is the jail. We're going to put like a cell here that you could see, the defendant. Like a flag hallway and stuff. Station. And then you enter the courtroom right up ahead. Which should be a pretty great idea. I think we have a very good idea here. What do you think, Frozen?
I would agree.
I would fix the. I'll leave that like that. I'll put a wool here to mark the true center. So, Frozen, I'm gonna be so honest, man. This layout looks funky. Tell me what's going on.
Okay. So, I mean,
Just walk our viewers through your mentality here.
it's not set in stone, but I'll admit this is one of the funkier layouts I've made, and I might modify some sections of track. But the idea I mentioned, you're entering the flashback, coming into town, right? You enter the town center, probably around here. You're seeing some scenes on the streets. Maybe enter a bar or something. Something happens in the bar. You enter a back alley. Night starts to fall. You see some kind of crime scene in a window. You hop in the forest for a second. Pretty much just.
Is this going to be one floor?
Yeah, this is a one-story dark room.
So I have a question for you, Frozen.
Yes.
If we have to exit over here, how are we going to get the exit from over here to exit at the gift shop?
So, that is an interesting predicament, and I have a simple solution, actually.
Uh-huh.
What we're going to need to do is, it's an advanced technique.
Pray do tell. What is this technique?
That only people like me like to use. But what we're going to want to do is select one side of the entire Dark Ride building, right? And we're going to want to... We're going to want to select the other...
I'm just going to let Stream focus on Frozen here. I want to see how he fixes his mistake.
Okay. So we've got the other side.
This is on Frozen to fix, so I want to see what his mentality is here.
We're going to do... we're actually going to cut this, right? Gone. Abracadabra, alakazam.
Okay, now what?
Hold up. They changed the way the flip command worked with 1.20.6. Okay. Then, this is going to require a little bit of extra leg.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this goes. Let's see this master at work here. Oh.
Hang on. Let me think about this.
This is not going well, Frozen.
Okay, that wouldn't work. Never mind.
Oh my god. Okay, what's your plan?
Well...
Because I already know how you could solve this. It's very simple.
What we need to do is flip the entire track layout.
No, you don't need to do that.
Ah.
Really? You can't figure this one out?
What's your idea? We could simply make the other brown shop the gift shop.
Frozen.
It's attached to the ride building.
Frozen.
I could modify the track. That would be too easy of a solution.
You make it exit over here, okay? Stairway, you go over, and then go down, and then you enter.
I suppose that would also be a solution. See,
you could just stairway it.
There's so many different ways you can solve problems here. Like this one that was created.
This is created by you, by the way. I just want to emphasize, in our outlining panel, you misoutlined. Wow. Someone's angry.
Continuing with the track layout.
Let's watch Frozen. Frozen, you've got this. I want to watch you. I want to see what our track layout we're going to work with. Because once we're done with this, we're going to start outlining scenes. And people could see how we do scene space distribution and how to properly size things out. But we need an outline first.
Mm-hmm.
So Frozen, go over your mentality here. Why you're putting in the turns and all that stuff. And why straight sections, why turns, all that.
Part of why I'm putting in these turns is just to make the best use of this space. You know, I don't want to have big swaths of the scene go to waste. And, you know, this might be a section where you're going through the forest, seeing things out of windows. Maybe someone confronts you as you're kind of going behind the town. Pretty much this is the section where it's nighttime. Things are happening, but you can't really tell as much. There's the mystery element, who did what. So we kind of want to make it a bit more of a frightening scene. But pretty soon, I'm going to have to make it go a bit more straight for a second. Just to... Can you move, please? Thank you. No, get out of the way. Out of the way. I'm going to... Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to have to make it go straight for a second just so it can kind of get past this little bottleneck that we've created. But that's okay. It will, I think, work for this particular situation because it's right about here where what I kind of want to do
Mm-hmm.
is have it so, we've seen the account, right? We've
Yeah.
seen, we've gone through the events, but then I want to
I'm just looking
return
at
to
this outline. I'm looking at this little curve that comes out right here, and I'm like, man,
Yeah, you like that curve?
it's very unique.
It is a unique curve indeed.
So, Frozen, is there a minimum length you aim for in a dark ride?
No, really isn't. Okay. Look, Ikait I am going to need you to stop following me while I build. Otherwise, there will be consequences. I am
I
afraid.
killed him already. Come on, build.
He keeps coming back, though. That's the problem. See, he's
What a
back again.
pain. I'm gonna kill him again. I'm gonna do it as soon as he starts doing something. Come on, Frozen, build.
Okay. So this is the part where we're not going to build the whole courtroom again. It's more so going to be like out of the inky blackness maybe comes like a section of courtroom where someone can say, "No, it happened like this," or there's a protest from what you've said.
Mm-hmm.
Some further element of action, and then you enter someone else's account of what happened or someone else's perspective.
Wait a second. Frozen.
What?
Come here. Look at this.
What's up?
Look at this. Ready?
Hang on.
Force field true makes it so I could push M64.
Wait, are you saying I can make a force field around myself?
Now you have one automatically activated. Now I
Good.
can push M64 around. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, keep building. Keep going. I'm just gonna be a second here.
Yeah,
I'm having a little bit
actually,
of fun.
I'm gonna take this curve and I'm gonna put it just a little further away.
Mm-hmm. Should we have better scene spacing?
Yes, because I am trying to
Totally
watch
fair.
my scene spacing as I'm building. I don't want to have too much space, but I don't want to have too little space.
So dark rides, especially non-e-tickets, everybody. Remember,
Trying to strike that balance between utilizing all the space, but not having too many scenes.
I'm going to go over something. So, when it comes to e-ticket dark rides, big, huge dark rides. Think Rise of the Resistance. Most scenes should feel big. Spectacles and all that stuff. But with these C-ticket dark rides, these lower tier dark rides, you need to pick and choose which scenes you want to feel big and which scenes you want to feel small. You can't have every scene feel big. That's not how this dark ride is meant to be. You need to balance out, obviously, between spectacle scenes and just additions. Just general things. Wouldn't you say, Frozen? What do you think the best way of doing that is?
I would
also,
say...
wait 1 second. Shout out to Pieface for resubscribing with Prime. Thank you very much.
Yeah!
Thank you very much, Pieface, for the resubscription. Anyways, Frozen, continue.
I would say,
sorry for cutting you off.
The focus with a C ticket is going to be making more with less. You're not really going to want to make too many large scenes. Generally, with this style of ride, the focus is you're going a bit faster through the show scenes for one, but generally the focus is going to not be on the sets themselves. So it's kind of just part of the style of the ride, not really making anything in the build too intricate.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think so. Me and Frozen have had our fair share of designing both e-tickets and C-tickets. With C-tickets, if you want to have spectacles, you typically save it for a finale.
Right.
So on a C-ticket dark ride, You want to build up through smaller scale scenes they're good scenes, don't get me wrong, but they're not these huge rooms with all these crazy movie parts, all that stuff. You want to focus those smaller rooms on singular elements. You want to build up towards something. And then your finale in this type of dark ride would be bam. It's that big thing. For example, Creaky Mill's Curse, which was a dark ride at KW6 a Haunted Mansion ripoff, if you will. Basically, the whole ride was building up going through a mansion. Each room kind of had like one effect going on, right? One big effect that happened, and then you just go through the room. The final room had multiple effects and ended in this big opening where a 3D modeled phantom came out and, attacked the riders and stuff. And the whole ride built up to that through smaller scenes, through focused scenes. And with a C-Ticket Dark Ride in particular, you need to make focused scenes. Now, for your E-Ticket rides, for example, let's look at Rise of the Resistance. Or we can look at Minnie and Mickey's. In all those rooms, there's multiple things going on. You have the main characters doing something, there's other effects, there's all this other stuff, right? There's so much stuff to see. Every single room serves as a spectacle there. Rise of the Resistance, a lot of those rooms have lots of things to see. Lots of different things going on. Dinosaur and Animal Kingdom. Many of the rooms have multiple different dinosaurs in it. Tons of different effects, all that stuff. It's just, those are non-focused rooms. They focus on just overwhelming you in a way. Where, for e-tickets, yeah, that's how they get their re-rideability. By having so much stuff that you didn't see. But a C-ticket should be made very, very focused. Very, very honed. Building towards that climax that gets you to want to re-ride to see that final room. It gets you want to re-ride to see that finale. All the story services it. All the previous rooms service it. It's just building up towards a goal. What do you think, Frozen?
I would actually argue that there's a lot of cases in which C-ticket design and E-ticket design can blend together. For instance, Pinocchio's Daring Journey is a ride at Disneyland. It's a C-ticket dark ride. Pretty small ride, pretty short. There's a lot of scenes that are very quickly paced. You go in, the first 10 seconds immediately, you see Pinocchio doing his little dance on the stage, and then you go into Stromboli's puppet hell and get put in a cage before escaping. That all happens in the first 20 seconds of the ride. But then there are also other scenes, like you get to Pleasure Island. That scene just kind of lets you take it all in. It's a big interconnected dark ride scene. There's tons of little things happening. Or even the final scene. You go through this turn and there's all these little clocks, and it's so easy to miss them. You gotta re-ride the ride multiple times just to see all the clocks. So it's kind of finding that right balance.
I do agree. It's just finding the right balance.
Right.
I just think C-tickets, smaller scale dark rides, need to focus more on having that focus, on honing that in. And then let's say an E-ticket, where every scene could be that big thing, right? You need to have a different mentality for the C-ticket, where you got to pick and choose your battles, right? Certainly plenty of the scenes can be big. Plenty of the scenes can have lots of stuff going on. But that's not going to be the majority. You need to, hone in. And you got to embrace the fact that it's a C-ticket, and you got to work within the confines, in my opinion, of what it's trying to be. And doing that requires picking and choosing your battles. Some scenes could be more basic, other scenes can be more advanced, and it's just about balancing that out. Wouldn't you agree?
I would.
So I see that you've pasted in, or you've done a second courtroom scene.
That's correct.
Could I ask what that's for? Is that for somebody calling objection to the testimony?
Yes, exactly. I explained that earlier. So you've now gone through someone's account of the crime, right? This can be you. This can be someone we haven't decided yet. And so this is going to be an objection, or the criminal coming to the stand or whatever. It's going to be the other side, and it's going to tell the same story but from a different perspective. So you're going to see the same scenes but from a different character or a different location.
That's a absolutely brilliant idea. I think that is genuinely brilliant. That's a wonderful concept. And then we'll outline this out today. And then the next stream, I think, we'll start building maybe start working on scenes and stuff. Or the line and that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And also, yeah, right now I'm just running around because I'm waiting for you to finish out this outline. And then we'll work on putting in the
I think
shows.
maybe while I'm doing this, you should work on something maybe that people don't need to see. Because there are a lot of things that are going to need to get done that are going to bore all of you if we just do them one by one on the stream.
We'll do that in our off time. I want to focus on talking to you about your layout. So, Frozen. Of the many years that you've been inside the theme park community now, is there certain things in layouts that you've noticed that you really, really dislike? Or are there certain things in layouts that you know that you really, really do like?
Ooh, I mean, I've done many layouts, but I can appreciate a good layout that uses its space effectively, and can really, especially I appreciate layouts that kind of capture the realism of a theme park. Like I don't necessarily. There was one layout I had to do for KW6 Craft where yes, I was able to make a dark ride, but it was constrained in this space deep underground. There was like this tunnel section that I had to build to lead to the show building.
Carriages?
Action, yeah, this was carriages. The big action scene was in the show building, but then in order to get back to the station, I had to drag it through this tunnel. Killed the pacing. Plus, it was all weird under everything.
That was a very difficult ride. In concept and execution, carriages was a challenge. We had to redo that whole ride. Carriages 1.0 and Carriages 2.0. That was a big job.
Carriages 1.0 wasn't something that any of you ever saw. For those of you who went to KW6 Craft, the version that opened was heavily modified from the version that I created and initially finished like months before it actually opened. But it was a complete mess.
Yeah, for me, I would say in my times doing layouts, I have the worst layout I ever had to work on. And I'm sure you're going to agree with me here. Once again, KW6 Craft, we keep talking about it. It's because that's where we made a lot of rides. We had a lot of work there. But I'm talking about Enchanted Streams.
Ooh.
Now, this was a boat ride that should have never happened. It was squeezed in as just an extra addition because the land which it was a part of kind of lacked pizzazz. It was not a great land. And I was like, we need something more. Like, we desperately need something more. So I made an underground subsection themed around like magic mushrooms and like a magical forest that's like underneath the main forest. All right. And basically, this boat ride had to squeeze through such a terrible area because it was a highly terrained area. So I had to deal with the valleys and mountains above, while still making a full boat ride. So there were some really bad layout quirks. So for example, beginning of the ride meandered through a tunnel with a small drop into a little forest scene. You then meandered for like 10 more seconds and went into a big lift hill. All right, big lift hill. Big drop with no runoff period. So like if it was real, you would have hit the wall and died. But that's besides the point, right? That is besides the point. So you go into the drop, then you're in a big forest scene. You're like, wow, this is awesome. You know, it's really nice. It's nice and open. And then the layout becomes beyond cramped as you go into a set of 3 different lift hills that each bring you up like 3 feet. You remember that, Frozen?
I do.
There was like the 3 different lift hills. Each of them brought you nowhere, basically. And what then happened is you then saw a clone dragon. So this is before we had a 3D modeler on KW6 Craft. So it was a block clone. If anyone's aware of cloning, basically doing an animation with blocks in a way. And then you drop. And this is a notable drop. It was a big drop. But it had no runoff period, and you basically hit a wall. The boat basically hit a wall. And then the ride that had like 2 minutes of meandering through a smaller forest scene after this big finale. Frozen hated this part. It was like the worst part of the ride. Because you just witnessed the dragon, you just had the big drop, and now you're just going around through more. And it's like, why? And then you have like 2 small little lift hills to get back to the station. But not before you meandered some more in some caves. It was a very interesting attraction, but it was Frozen's favorite ride there at KW6 Craft, believe it or not.
For a time. Before Gakijuan Valley opened, before I joined the staff team, Enchanted Streams was like, it was the ride. I was inspired by Enchanted Streams when I wrote it.
It was a very... No, there's an interesting attraction. If I had to rebuild that now, how long do you think that would take me? Like 2 days?
No, it would still take you a few days.
It took me like 3 weeks back then.
I think it would take you a week.
No.
Yeah.
No way. Enchanted Streams? No. Give me some more credit. Give me some more credit, Frozen.
Nope.
Yario, I think we all missed KW6 Craft. It was a wonderful server.
I don't miss it.
Shame. It was a shame what occurred to it. A real shame. You don't miss it, Frozen.
Nostalgia is useless.
Wow. All right.
Disclaimer, I really do miss KW6.
Yeah, it was a wonderful server. Really, it was. Real shame. Real shame. Now Craft Venture's closed too. You know, a lot of these great classic servers are gone. Craft Venture closing is the first stream since Craft Venture closed, so it's a very different community now. The Craft Venture's out of the picture, but hopefully more servers will rise up to fill the gap. What'd you say?
I said Hypixel's next.
Coach, is it? You think it's gonna go from Craft Venture to Hypixel?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is that the natural progression?
You know, it's like the status of the server closing is magnifying, right? First it was KW6 Craft, then it was Craft Venture, then it has to keep multiplying, if you will. So, you know, maybe next would be like MC Parks, then Hypixel or something. Sounds pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Hypixel's next, I'll be honest.
I don't know. Mindplex went down. Okay, so I have made another half circle, not a full circle. So this is courtroom 3. However, I'm not building the whole room because what I want to have is some kind of climactic event at the end of the ride, right? But in this case, I'm thinking it's going to be a murder in the courtroom or someone trying to run away or something. Like have like a climactic event in the courtroom. Everyone's so shocked by the testimony that there's some like finale event, right? And that's kind of going to end the events of the ride. Someone's about to go to jail right before you go. And then the final scene will be like a jail cell.
Yeah. Remember that you need to save space here for the exit and stairway.
Oh, I know.
I don't think you know.
I know. But I think what we're gonna do is make the unload right here, and then we'll have a staircase right here, and this little empty space. So actually, I planned it out quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So that, folks, is gonna be a completed layout. Let's take a look at the final result. We have a live track. A lot of it's pretty wiggly. Some of it's a bit less wiggly, but ultimately, it kind of looks like a K. If you look at it from a certain angle, it looks like a K, but like the
What are you
leg of the
talking about?
K
What
that's
looks
like
like a
going
K?
right is like
The whole layout?
going under. Yeah. Look from
Okay,
above
you
here.
know what? It looks like a K in Shrek font.
Exactly.
Besides the bottom lump, it does look like a K, kind of in Shrek font. I can see it. I can so see it.
I like this layout.
Heavy
Okay.
metal logo K. You're right, Bryce. It is. It's very much so like a heavy metal logo K.
So now what I'm gonna do is make that exit stair because it's pretty important. Jacob, are you gonna work on something?
I already did just a bunch of terrain just a minute ago around the land.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Look at send up and quick moment.
Now, at some point, we're gonna have to find an elevator to exit or a separate exit for those with disabilities.
What is that? I just don't know about that, man.
What do you mean? We're not
don't know about that.
Fantasia. So from here, as far as the dark ride, the real work starts to begin. The designing of the layout is really
The
just
meat and
tooling
potatoes.
around. Yes, the meat and the potatoes eaten together. I feel like
I
you
love
need a
that
good
term so
vegetable
much.
with
Meat
that.
and potatoes.
Like, isn't the broccoli more important? Like the potatoes are pretty starchy and the meat's meat. I mean, you can't just eat meat and potatoes.
Focus on the damn layout.
You think I'm not?
One second. I'm trying to find something. It's giving me a little bit of trouble finding this stupid damn thing. Not a bad idea, Cheser. You down, Frozen?
Well, the guests can't see what Chesser talked about, but yes, I do think that we could maybe in the last 30 minutes of the stream make the courthouse facade.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. You want to do it
Chesser,
now, though.
it's probably only going to take half an hour if I had to guess.
Yeah, we could do like a line room too, maybe.
I would like to spend a bit more time outlining the scenes.
Yeah, it's fine then. Don't worry. Yeah. Then we'll just do the courthouse. Don't worry. I'm trying to freaking find this. Where the hell is this? Yeah.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for a video.
Okay, well, for now, can you maybe, as I'm working on this, I would appreciate if you could look for a few reference images for the courthouse facade. That would be very helpful. So I'm gonna start using different colors of wool for different like buildings and stuff in here. Just like forget what we planned for the different colors when it's inside the dark ride, because there comes a point where I'm really just trying to make it easy to distinguish between different objects. So in this case, they're going to be fairly compact scenes because we don't. The ride vehicle is going to be pretty small. It's probably just going to be like one block on each side of the track, like three
Yeah,
blocks
yeah,
maybe.
fair.
Possibly a little less. It's going to be a pretty small dark ride car, so we can use everything else or buildings or whatever else we want. The track.
Yario Proof is getting launched by the force field right now. Chezer, since the Kanai people are not here anymore, you could probably disable the force field. I don't think it's a big issue anymore. You could disable it. It was Kanai's little group that was being crazy.
It's like Coasters Crafters is getting. Hey, Coasters Crafters, you gotta move.
There we go. Force field's now disabled, so now you guys can all come around us and actually see things. Let me remove this waypoint on my end. This exit is longer than the queue. It's around the same length. Might be slightly longer.
It is not a short exit. It will require a lot of
extend the queue longer.
No, I want you to extend the exit. Maybe just make a zigzag just for fun.
I could make the exit way longer if you want.
Yeah, I know. You could.
You want me to?
No.
I could make the exit go through some switchbacks.
You want to?
That would be so stupid.
I don't know. Chat what we think. Should we do it or not?
I'm not gonna act like I know what that is, Yario.
It's the ride at Efteling. You've ridden it. I haven't. Well, actually, the Flying Dutchman?
Oh, the Villager Hollander.
No, wait, no. Oh, I'm thinking of... No, my bad. Yeah, it's at Hansa Park. It's the Gersauer Eurofighter. Sorry,
I was like,
I had a
Hollander?
I had a brain fart there.
Great ride. You've never been to Efteling, right?
Oh, and I haven't been to Hansa Park either, but I would love to go.
I'm gonna spoil all the Efteling rides right now.
Hey, I know what they are. I've seen POVs and video.
Did you know that they have a ride called Vogelrock?
Yep.
Did you know that they have a ride called Sirocco?
Yep. And it doesn't look that good.
Did you know that they have a ride called Pinata Festa?
Wait, they have a Pinata Festa? What?
They do.
Do they? Are you sure? I don't think you're right. I'm not sure.
Of course they do.
Do they? Is that real?
Is it?
No.
You're right. I lied. Trying to throw you off. They have Carnival Festa.
Did you know they have a ride called Baron 1898?
That ride sucks.
I'm aware.
Baron literally sucks. Does anybody here actually think Baron's good? Can I get a consensus on that? Because Baron is terrible. There's no reason to ride that ride. Just watch the pre-shows on YouTube.
For those of us who are roller coaster enthusiasts.
Watch the pre-shows on YouTube. There's no reason to ride the ride. The ride takes a back seat to the pre-shows. You can't tell me I'm wrong on that. Because I'm not. I mean, yeah, there's good theming, but like... It's so short. It's a nothing burger of a coaster. Yeah, I rode Baron. I've ridden with one of my Dutch friends, and it really wasn't like a good coaster. It is not one of the longest dive coasters.
I'm pretty sure it is the shortest dive coaster.
It is the shortest dive coaster.
It may very well be the very shortest. Aside from Crake, but Crake is ridiculously short. They shouldn't have built that ride. Wait, that actually, yeah, Oblivion might be okay, fine. And then the one in Taiwan.
Isn't Oblivion just one drop at Alton?
Yeah, it's a drop, a turn, breaks. I believe it's under 2,000 feet.
What a waste of a coaster! What is the point?
It was the first. Well, okay. The point of Oblivion is that the drop into the tunnel is super.
Well, I have a really good idea here, Frozen.
What's the idea?
Let's put like building outlines here.
Yeah, where?
And these buildings are actually just a double-side facade wall. And these scenes can basically be inside where the buildings are supposed to be.
I like that idea. That's a good idea.
You know what I mean? So we could add depth to the scene by making it look like actual buildings and stuff.
Right.
You're following what I'm putting down.
No, I'm really not.
You get it. But no, Yario, that doesn't mean that Baron's good. I think Baron is honestly the worst coaster at Efteling. It is the worst. I don't care if the ride feels smooth. The ride barely feels. Like, you have 3 seconds and then that's it. It's just too short. It is a nothing burger.
Why do you say nothing burger? Why is that like a thing with you?
I don't know. It is a thing with me, though. You are right. It is a thing. That ride with the budget it had and all that stuff shouldn't just be a good first coaster experience. It's a kiddie coaster then. A dive coaster should not be a kiddie coaster.
My problem is with the dive coaster as a model. I think they all kind of suck. I mean, some of them are better than others, but I wouldn't say there's a dive coaster.
And Griffin.
I like Sheikra and Griffin, but I still feel like they're both a little bit short.
And they're the long ones.
I mean, quite frankly, I would prefer any other B&M model, and that includes stand-up.
You prefer stand-up to dive?
Yes, I do.
Wow. So as you guys could see, we're starting to work on like a town scene. So we're putting in outlines for buildings that are going to be along the ride track. This is definitely if you're like making your first dark ride, don't do this. Town scenes require a lot of work. I would suggest your first dark ride being a nature-based dark ride. Nature dark rides are the easiest to make, and you could back me up here, Frozen. It's terrain with you animatronics typically, and they could be beautiful. They could be beautiful rides, but they're much easier to work with. You don't have to work like the story could be much more simple. I would say your first dark ride should not be one that takes place in a city. I don't think that's a wise choice. What do you think, Frozen?
I agree.
I'm glad you agree. Want to give some, maybe more substance?
No, I mean, you've got a point. It's just simply true that it's harder to make buildings. It's harder to make more intricate stories. Like, there's not a ton else to say.
Thank you.
If you want to start with a City Dark Ride, you can. You're probably going to. I know that like with making a new thing and getting into something, it's easier to motivate yourself if you feel like you're having success. So it's better to do something easier as a result.
Ain't that the truth, partner? I remember my first dark ride. Oh man. It's before I even knew about ride models and that stuff, so it wasn't realistic by any means. It was at a plot on MC Amusement called Pirate Land. As you know, it was that Camps and Houses plot on MC Amusement called Amazing Park. And, well, let's just say it wasn't amazing.
What?
It was pretty rough.
No.
So, by the way, let me state this. So, the longest drop coaster in the world is Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger.
That's the That's the longest.
No, sorry, Yukon Striker's the longest. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The Yukon Striker is the longest one in the world. It is 3,600 feet. 3,625. Baron is only 1,644. It is less than half.
Owie. Sorry, Arab. Stop being a Baron.
Less than half. Come on. Like, how could you defend that? You can't.
And Dr. D's is not a very long coaster, by the way. I like it, but I can't deny it's a little short.
Dr. Diabolicals?
Yeah, Dr. D.
It is not one of the longest coasters in Europe.
I would argue it's one of the shorter coasters in Europe.
I know for a fact it is not one of the longest coasters in Europe.
Okay. So I've got a lot.
Let me look up all of them really quickly.
The longest. I don't think you'll have any long dive coasters in Europe.
There's Valkyria. There's Crack. There's Crate.
Valkyria is probably your longest, and it's not very long.
Baron and Oblivion.
Get better dive coasters, because all the good ones are over here.
So, let me compare some things here, just to be annoying.
This is a really annoying tangent. I'd like to get back to the actual content.
I'm almost done. So, Baron is, as we said, 1,642. Oblivion is 1,800 feet. Oblivion is longer than Baron.
Wait, doesn't that make Baron the actual shortest then? Or wait, how long is Crake?
Valkyria is 2,300 feet.
How long is Crake?
Crake is only 1,562 feet. It is 60 feet shorter.
Ooh! Man, that's...
So Crake and Baron are the shortest ones. Oblivion is longer.
It's one of the longest coasters.
And the longest one is Valkyria, which is deserved. Valkyria is a nice coaster.
Ish.
But yeah, Baron's too short. So short. No defending it. No defending it, Yario. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. Don't even. No defense.
Want to hear it.
1, 2. You don't want to hear it. Don't even.
Okay, so I'm actually going to make a little bit of a cheat here, if you will. I'm going to extend the indoor portion of this orange building as far as its dark ride scene, but yeah, the green facade, it's going to like extend to where the green facade is here, but we'll still make like a little window interior for the green facade.
Okay.
Problem with Baron is it may have more elements than some of these other coasters, but it's a little baby. It's a very tiny coaster.
It is a very tiny coaster. Little baby toilet. To quote Vector.
What?
To quote Vector from Despicable Me. You remember, like, little tiny toilet? You remember that?
I haven't watched Despicable Me in a few years, actually.
You really? I love that film.
I know
what
you.
A wonderful franchise.
Well, I know you're obsessed with Minbama. I'm not.
I definitely still needs a big flare coaster. I agree, but isn't their problem like their local height ordinances?
Probably.
And also because like the town that they're in fights them on everything they do.
They should get a Nemesis clone.
Oh, no, Nemesis.
It would
I don't
fit
think you
pretty
could
well.
clone that ride. That ride relies on the terrain a little too much to clone.
You build the exact same terrain hole.
Oh man, that's a big job. That's a really big job, Frozen.
Never said I wasn't, but I expect a profitable and money cash positive park like Efteling to make such a ride.
You know, the Efteling has restrictions on how many guests can go a year.
That's really not good. Why do they have that?
Because they're a local town. The township that they're in.
Why does the town care about how many guests they get? No,
So,
like
quote,
seriously.
quote, the North Brabant province, the south of the Netherlands, was told to intervene if Efteling exceeds its annual visitor limit of 5 million a year. They are only allowed to have 5 million. If they have any more, their county intervenes.
Why?
I don't know. They're not allowed. They're just not allowed.
What? What is going on in the Netherlands? For those of
I
you
don't
who live,
know.
this is truly bizarre.
You didn't know that, right?
No.
Well, now you
Okay,
know.
I would say let's move on to the front facade because I still want to work out later what I'm doing for the next section of the dark ride. So this is about what I'm gonna cut it off at for now.
All right, yeah. Head over there. Chezar Cam, go to Frozenslime.
Okay, I'm actually going to be right back. Jacob is going to explain some things for a second while I grab a donut.
Uh, um, I wasn't ready for that. Give me 1 second. I'm just finishing up putting up a building outline in this scene in the dark ride. Give me just 1 moment. Okay, yeah. I'm just flying through to see how this is gonna feel. This is a very big scene. This isn't something you typically see in a dark ride of this ticket, but I think we want to blow people away from the beginning, and kind of make this just a really cool first half. The whole idea here is you exit the courtroom, flashback room, and you're inside the town. And the cool part about this, the unique perspective is, you see these buildings, these facades, right? The thing is, these are actually going to be double-sided, and on the ride, you're going to be going through the respective facade. So it's actually a cool idea, where the building you're seeing on the outside is the building you're going to be on later during the ride. So it's going to be a very interesting experience. You can kind of see how the outlines are starting to shape up for that. It's actually a very cool idea. Let me see how this looks on Journey Map. Oh, that looks very cool.
Okay, I'm back.
I didn't
I'm
explain
ready.
the courthouse. I was going over the dark ride scene.
Oh. Okay. So,
What type of donut, firstly?
these are pigs in the blanket.
You said donut.
They're kolaches. They're basically donuts. You know, you buy them at a donut place.
Pigs in a blanket.
Indeed. Okay, so did you ever grab a courthouse reference image?
I did not know.
Okay, I'm not really sure how we're going to show this on stream. Right now, I'm doing a Google search just to see. I'm not going to just look up courthouse. I'm going to look up, 1800s courthouse. Just to get an idea of what I want to do for this facade. Because if I just try to go in buck wild, at least for me, it's not going to go super well.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
Maybe I'll make my search even a bit more specific. I'll say 1800s courthouse, Tennessee. 1 minute. And I'm finding some pretty good courthouses.
You're finding some good images.
Uh-huh.
So I think what you could do is you could send them to Cheser, and he could probably put it on the screen some way.
Okay,
How we
I'll
figure
trust
that out.
Cheser with that. Let's pull in Cheser to the call just for a second. I want to ask him a question.
Let me see if he. Oh well, there he is.
Cheser, I have a
Hello.
question.
Hello?
What have you eaten today?
Well, given that it's 9 a.m., nothing.
You haven't eaten anything.
Nope.
Okay, get back to me when you've eaten something, okay?
Alright, well, the images are coming through stream right now. There it is. That's the...
So these...
Have you
These are
enjoyed the
gonna be my-
conversations happening today, Cheser?
They've been a bit boring, but... Yep.
Yeah, they have been. You're right. I don't have the most.
Some
I don't have the most
material.
energy right now. My energy's a little low.
The
Same
second
here.
image you sent me is really low quality.
Good.
So
That's
it's
good.
really small on the
Put it up
screen.
there, really low quality. Let me take a look.
It's really small,
Yep.
That's awesome.
but there it is.
I'm not looking at the stream right now, so
It's great.
No, I don't have the.
It
I don't
is.
even have the stream up.
It's in the channel, Frozen. You just click on the user and you watch the stream. All right, you guys have fun. I'm gonna go back.
Okay, Chizzy. See ya. See you later.
Goodbye.
No, Chizzy's quality left the stream. What are we gonna do now?
I have no idea.
So what I'm doing right now is I am just kind of starting to make this little, what do you want to call it? This overhang section out here on the entrance to the courthouse. This is where you will enter the ride through standby, the entrance where guests will walk through and enter. Now, as far as what Jacob's doing, only God knows what Jacob's doing right now.
Just checking some really quickly. So, can you send me those reference images as well, really quickly?
You want the reference images.
Yeah, send me them really quickly, so I could maybe help you a bit. This
Does
is your
anyone
part
else
of the
want-
stream?
Does anyone else want the reference images?
No, I don't think anyone
Because
else needs it.
Bryce, do you want I could send you the reference images. Does anyone else want them? Before I stop sending people reference images, just want to make sure. Okay. You all now forever hold your peace. I'm gonna choose a pretty classic block for the main color of the courthouse. That is gonna be bricks.
That is pretty classic.
I mean, bricks have been around since the beginning of time, Minecraft-wise. Not those bricks, though. These bricks. And I think I'm gonna just start by world editing a wall of bricks in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have to make a slight disclaimer to the audience. I don't make a ton of exteriors on the daily. Then again, I also don't build on the daily all the time. So,
Yeah, Frozen's kind of bad at building, guys. Just letting you know.
yeah, that is an important thing to note.
Like, we kind of got him off the street. He's not very good. He's better than Ewan. And God knows nobody wants to listen to Ewan. So we go with Frozen. Because he's better.
Yes. And Jacob Ackerman is getting banned, actually, from Project New Tomorrow as soon as this stream ends.
Is that so?
Yes, it does.
I did not know this.
I already spoke with Soyster, and it sounds like the plan's going to move ahead quite well.
The plan.
So right now, I'm making windows. Windows are an important feature on any facade. You gotta have windows to make a building look like a building.
Not true.
Okay, your
There are
evidence?
exceptions.
Name one.
The Colosseum.
That's not a building. That's a Colosseum.
It's not a building. That's not a building. It is. You say that's a Colosseum?
Indeed.
Gazebo.
That's not a building. That's a
Bathrooms.
structure. Bathrooms are buildings.
Do you think bathrooms need windows?
I think they need big windows.
All the stalls need their own windows, huh?
Yes.
So you want to take a
Wait,
shit
have
in
you
luxury?
seen like those? Have you seen those new toilets in Japan where it's like when no one's in the toilet, it's just like this clear glass toilet, and the whole point is to show everyone how clean it is.
That's insane. Would you trust it?
No, I would never go in there.
You wouldn't trust it?
Are you kidding me?
You wouldn't do it for science?
What?
You wouldn't trust it for science to see if it works?
No.
I'd trust it. I'd give it a shot. That'd be interesting.
Well, you're a toilet aficionado. You're a connoisseur. You have
That
to.
is true. Is that roof fine, by the way?
Hold up.
The roof for the building, is that fine?
I would say that is acceptable.
I'm trying to follow your reference that you gave.
Although honestly, if I were you, I might like make that top area you're doing. I might make it slightly smaller. Your choice, though. We have just been informed by our lovely operator, Chizza, that
Lovely
we
is the
have
way to say
that we have half an hour remaining before we conclude the stream for the day. Now, our goal in this last half hour is going to be to finish this facade and possibly something in the queue for our attraction.
Why are you talking like that, man?
I'm like, what?
Don't even. You literally know.
What?
A day's attraction. Like, why are you doing that?
Doing what? I wasn't doing anything. I was
Hey.
speaking in my normal voice.
Not true. So annoying. So freaking annoying. By the way, guys, I'm so sorry that I have not been very energetic this stream. I was, family barbecue because we celebrated Memorial Day today. Even though it's tomorrow, we're celebrating a day early. Swimming, did all that stuff. So I had to go right from the pool. I got out of the pool and I was on this stream within like 5 minutes of me getting out of the pool. So the energy isn't exactly there, but I'm trying. I'm trying. I am.
Pretty much what he's trying to say is he's an American, and as Americans, we have many more bullshit holidays than everyone else does. And in this particular case, Jacob is he's getting used to his privilege of having this holiday, and he just can't take it, working today.
I
doing
don't
something.
appreciate this sass.
So hard to go on CoasterCon, on Project New Tomorrow, and build a fun dark ride. It's too difficult.
It is. Give me just one moment. Okay, for one moment.
So right now, I'm working on, and this is one of my biggest flaws as a Minecraft builder. I may be an okay builder of Minecraft architecture, and I'm actually decent at designing like actual architecture and drawings, whatever. I took a class in high school, but I am not good at architecture terms. So I would call this a pillar or a trim on the side. But if anyone can help me out here, it's it's just so you get a flow for it. There's no terminology. There's no technical terms.
I returned. What I missed?
Nothing. I didn't miss anything. I was just telling them about your tax evasion and money laundering.
That is true. But listen, that court case is currently being hard fought on my behalf.
That's what the dark ride's about.
Yes, of course.
You know what? I think that would be a fun activity for the chat. We need to come up with a court case, a witness, or not a witness, a defendant, and what's the other one called? A respondent? No, a prosecutor. A prosecutor. Yeah. We need to come up with a scenario for this court case.
You are so stupid.
I think y'all should come up with that for us, or at least give us some ideas for next time.
For next time.
Next time.
Woohoo! Here we go. In the future for these, I am so not going in the pool before I had this. It was just an unfortunate circumstance of timing.
Imagine having a pool.
You don't have a pool?
At the moment, no. Unfortunately.
Did you have one in Texas?
Yeah, we just moved out. Went to my old house for the last time earlier today.
Really?
I went into the bowels of the attic to grab a few more things before I left for the very last time.
Were you crying?
No.
You heartless monster.
But I was sad.
Why?
Why, you said?
Yeah.
Because I lived in that house for 10 years, basically.
I did too.
You did not live there. No, you did not.
I lived there for a long while. It was a wonderful time. I was blessed to be there.
This is just a disclaimer for everyone. Jacob lives in Florida, United States. I live in Texas. They're a little far from each other.
United States or not? Because, Florida, United States, but Texas.
I don't know. Texas, they're going to secede, obviously.
Texas is going to secede?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why is Texas seceding?
Excited. Wasn't there like that talk about Texas seceding earlier this year?
I don't know. Was there?
I think there was. Something about the border crisis. But hey, water under the bridge. So right now, I'm making the roof. I'm moving to the roof. And I've chosen andesite, but I'm probably going to mix in some other color, like stone bricks. Give it kind of more of like a weathered feel by randomly scattering this other block around. This courthouse has stood the test of time and has handled many murder cases, many felonies, and probably quite a few cases of littering and obscenity.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
This is where the O.J. Simpson trial was held.
Oh no.
This is where the Epstein trial was held as well.
Hey! Stop talking. Chester, can you join the VC? Can we get some clarification here for a second? Can you please join the VC?
We'll
These-
solve Jason.
Not reflect coasters and crafters. Any
Thank you. Because this is not on me. Do not point fingers. Let me be very clear. Chezzer, could you confirm with me on this statement?
I'm
After I state it?
confirming.
Okay, thank you. After I state the statement, you must confirm.
Yes.
This is not the courthouse that handled the Epstein trial, nor are we insinuating the Epstein trial in any way. Frozenslime's views do not represent Bundle Group's views, and yeah, that would be all.
Look, I lied. We only have trials about petty crime. in this court.
Don't say petty. Shut up. Stop talking.
Petty crime means like
Oh,
thievery. What?
I know what it means, but you're giving a bad context right now, okay? Listen, stop talking. Just stop talking and say I'm sorry. Apologize.
Lo siento, los personas de CoasterCon y Proyecto Mañana Nuevo. Sí, muy bien.
Okay, can we get Ewan in here to confirm this statement? Really quickly?
Oh, Ewan. Hello. Come in, Ewan. Yes, hello.
Hello,
Ewan,
hello,
Ewan.
hello.
Need some clarification here.
Yeah, 1 second.
He just muted.
Yeah,
Views
sorry,
of
what do you
Coasters
want?
and Crafters and Bundle Group do not reflect the
could
views
you-
of Ewan Livingstone.
Yeah, what?
Could you confirm that Frozenslime's recent statements do not
I
reflect
heard-
the view of
I
Bundle
heard,
Group?
yeah. I heard Frozenslime's recent statements. They do not reflect the They do not reflect both our brand identity as Bundle Group, the brand identity of Coasts and Crafters Limited, Coasts and Crafters Bundle Group Limited, or any other
Oh my
subsidiaries like the Bundle Shop.
I truly
Frozen,
hope
you're
that
fired.
Is this the worst bit that's gonna happen on this series? Because we need to stop.
I just wanted to bring Ewan in to hear his annoying little voice.
I didn't want to bring you.
Wow,
in. That's
thanks,
where
Jacob.
that's where I draw
I'm
the
doing my
line.
final uni assessment, so I hate you.
You're
Are
doing
you?
it.
What's the
right
assessment?
this
It's on the fundamentals of web development.
What are
Ah.
the fundamentals of web development?
I don't know.
Everyone, Ewan Livingstone is
Ewan
offering to
Livingstone.
design your website for $200 an hour. That is
What are the
be
fundamentals?
a great
I don't
deal.
know.
That is a special friend
I am
discount
submitting a
back there.
presentation that just looks nice, and I'm gonna hope it's just gonna pass. Kind
So
of
you don't know what the class you took is, basically?
No, not really. No, not really.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Ewan.
I think I know.
Okay, tell us about the fundamentals. Chesser will grade
Um,
you.
Well, it's
Tell us
not.
about
It's
the
like the
fundamentals
fundamentals of a
of
specific
calculus.
website. So it's like it goes through visual elements, key demographics, dynamic content, brand.
What are the key
technologies.
demographics?
Very good.
The key
yeah.
demographics for a Scout's website.
Scouts website.
I don't even know.
owned by Ewan
where
You
are
don't
they?
know? You're failing.
Here we go. I've got it. Current members, potential scouts, potential leaders, local community, and current leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You have
There
a
you
local
go.
community?
I know. I thought the same thing. Scotland's so diverse and like so spread apart that I didn't think there was local community. To be rightfully honest.
What? I meant that you have
Yeah.
no people.
They aren't people, they're savages.
What?
Monsters.
Whoa. I may agree with this statement, but that doesn't mean we should say it on stream.
Just saying.
All right,
Scott,
I've
to
I've
be
already gotten a
Scottish to be a
complaint from
crime.
the audience. We're gonna have to
Just-
leave the VC and leave these guys to stay on topic.
No.
What?
What's the complaint?
Please. Wait,
Actually, I'm
Chezzer,
kind
Chezzer. Question, Chezzer. Have you eaten anything today yet?
No, I have not eaten
Ewan.
anything between the 20
Ewan.
minutes.
Ewan Livingstone. Ewan, have you eaten anything?
What? Yes.
What have you eaten?
I had a Tesco meal deal during my work.
Of course you did.
No, but like, what was the
What's the meal deal? What's the meal deal?
What was the
Today's
actual
meal deal
time-
choice. Oh, well, today's meal deal choice was, you'd call them Cheetos, We call them Watsits.
You had Cheetos as your main course?
No, that was the side. That was the side. My
Wait,
main course was.
He just had
Was
Cheetos.
Yeah,
the
that
whole
was my
meal.
main. Yeah, no, my main course was what's that?
what's it?
Fried chicken pasta or
No,
whatever.
I don't care. You've given me all you need to know now. This is going to be the Watsit County Jail.
What's it, County Jail?
What's the matter with you?
I'll stop.
That's
talking.
all. That's all I was looking for with the question. I just
Alright.
wanted to come up with a
Alright,
name.
we're gonna leave these guys for the last 15 minutes. to
Thank the
focus
maker.
on-
I'm so
we
fed
might
up of
finish
Jacob.
a
He's
little
so
bit early.
obnoxious.
I think we're just
No,
gonna finish off.
keep going.
Court.
Keep going.
And
No, we're
be
gonna
done.
work on the queue for the last 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right, we'll leave these guys. All right, good luck, guys. We'll see you in a bit.
Alright.
I could chase it.
Let's get down to it. It's actually looking pretty good, Frozen.
I'm quite happy with this so far.
I'm very happy with this.
It looks like a courthouse.
We've done a good job.
Though we're not done yet. There are still other things that need to be added to this. Actually, I don't know if we'll get to the queue because we're not done with this facade.
Ain't that the truth? Can we get Girl Master Bryce in here?
I don't think we need any more representatives.
I just want to speak to him really quickly. It's very important. We just need Girl Master Bryce in here for like a few seconds.
Okay, add Girl Master Bryce. Get him in.
I gotta wait on Chezzer to move him in. I ought to wait on Chezzer.
What?
Hey,
Is that
Bryce,
Girl Master?
Bryce, I have an important question for you, Bryce, actually.
What's the question?
Can you write my will for me?
That is not what I wanted
Dude,
to
during the
ask him.
stream, I've gotten timed out 13 times.
Yeah, I know. I've been
Ooh.
seeing it. I've been seeing it the whole
It
time.
is a travesty.
So I was about to ask you, you as a man of law, what is it that you look to see in a courthouse build? What do you want to see?
A gavel.
What about a gallows?
Oh,
But that's not in a courthouse.
What if it's a live execution at the courthouse? Guilty? Hang him. Right.
There's just no sentencing. There's just no sentencing hearing. It's just you're
There's
guilty,
no
you're dead.
appealing. It's guilty. You're wrong. 2 seconds later, man. Somebody wheel in the gallows. Wheel it in. It's on a little cart. Remember the old TV carts from school?
I'm gonna trust you to add the flag up there, and then I'm gonna work on
The
this.
CIT cards.
See the little wheel it in the gallows.
No. I don't like that.
You don't like the idea?
I don't.
I think it's a
Not
great
really.
idea.
I guess for portability,
man.
sure. But like
Portability.
is that in there? Nah.
Why not? It's effective. Get it done. You know?
Get her done.
You know,
All right,
Jacob,
Larry the
I-
Cable
I
Guy.
think with this, I think this distraction and everything, I think you're a bit too obsessed with murder.
I do like murder. And so does Bryce, right, Bryce?
Nope.
Bryce
You
is an
don't?
American.
Bryce is not an American.
What is it? Excuse you. What am I then? What am I
That was
then?
the most offensive thing I could have said to Bryce.
What am I then?
You're Bryce.
What?
Bryce having to be himself.
So Bryce, you as
So,
a
Jacob.
builder, because I know you're a well-known builder.
And Griller.
Yeah, what's
What
up?
do you think the most important part of building is? Do you think outlining is the most important thing? Do you think detailing? What do you think the most important step is?
I think actually having like a proper formulated idea of what you want to do is probably the most important.
So you think planning before outlining?
I'm not even talking about
planning.
like no, I'm talking about actually having an idea, like a cohesive idea that you can execute.
That's a good idea.
Not even just planning, just like an idea, and you kind of just click with what you want to do with it.
There you go, Frozen. By the way, flags up there.
That's good. Thank you.
That's
Why is it
beautiful.
American? Why not make it Indonesian?
Let me see if I get any good flags I can use. Give me a minute. Japanese Empire, World War One Germany. Oh, not looking at no Germany. German Empire. Not reading that. Egypt. Spanish Empire. Roman Empire. Mongolian Empire. Prussia. Kingdom of Prussia.
Prussia.
You want Prussia?
No.
Isn't this supposed to be like an old Midwest town or something?
Yeah, but like, what if we have like the Japanese Empire flag over it?
Make it the Watson chips.
Nah. Do the one with the bird.
Prussian Empire.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is that Prussia? Oh, it is.
Of course, that's Prussia.
I don't
know
know,
my
man.
Flags.
I'm proud of you.
Take a look. Flying the Prussian flag.
Where's
Perfect.
That is beautiful.
A Prussian court in the middle of America. As there was
the Midwestern Embassy of Prussia.
Which is
I'll
also
admit, I don't know if this is going to be permanent.
It's a courthouse, and they try Americans in their Prussian law. You did
This whole
not
territory-
hail the Kaiser. What Kaiser? Just shut up! You're executed.
This whole territory falls under Prussian rule.
It's a random Prussian exclave. The freaking
It's like
middle
that
of
one guy.
America.
It's like that. Isn't there that one guy in the middle of the desert that just owns land and created his own nation?
Yeah.
So it's like that, but
I know
Prussia.
exactly what you're talking about. That's a great idea. It's brilliant. Brilliant. Well, thank you, Bryce, for your feedback and your assistance here. You can head back now, my friend.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Adios, Grill Master. Jacob's really excited about Prussia, folks. We got him all wound up. Hey, so I'm having a bit. Jacob, before I take you to a mental institution, come on.
I'm just saying this to you really quickly. Can you put this on the stream? Yes. I just got a notification for this. I just got the notification for this appearing. It's so good. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Jacob, I need a little help with EAS down here, actually.
You do?
You see, I'm trying to make text, right? But it just doesn't seem to be working at the moment. What? What? No! No! Never mind. Like,
It played on the stream. It played on the stream. I hope the viewers like that one, Sismoyo. I love that one. I'll play it through my microphone really quickly so you guys could hear it in some crisp quality here.
I feel like maybe we're going off on a bit of a tangent, not related to this stream.
He's scared of a tiger running at him. It's really good. I really like that joke. But yeah, the courthouse is turning out really great. It's turning out awesome. We have the outlines of the ride coming in. you can see the outline process of dark rides here. I did a little bit of terrain. And yeah, it's looking brilliant, Frozen. This is looking great. Truly, truly splendid.
Yeah.
Next stream, we're gonna be a lot more focused. The only reason why I'm going so off kilter here is I'm so tired that I feel like I'm about to die. So I'm hanging on by like a thread, by just a little
Remember
thread.
how to change the text color of EAS text? It has been a minute since I've used EAS text.
I do not know how to do the text color in the AS text.
Desert, do you remember how to change the text color? Uh-oh.
Do
I'm not
bold
trying to make
without
it-
spaces.
I'm trying to make it black, actually. Oh, without spaces.
Gotcha.
So like that, basically. Everyone, we just troubleshoot.
That was awesome.
No, it wasn't. So at the moment,
Clone that.
I'm making the courthouse clock.
That's true. You are. That's not 12, by the way. That's 6, just so you know.
Do you want to be banned from Project New tomorrow? Because I could.
Project No tomorrow.
Well, is that not just the world?
I'm very happy with this first exterior, and I think the idea that we came up with of you with the murder mystery, me with the court trial, it's a really smart concept for a
You
dark.
agree? I'm
Like,
quite
I think
excited.
it's actually a really brilliant concept.
I think this dark ride will be a great addition to Project New.
When it's done in a year, yeah,
Hey,
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
look, we're not Craft Venture. We don't make things CV soon.
They don't make things at all anymore. Actually,
Well,
there is no
maybe
more
we should-
CV sued.
maybe we should be more like Craft Venture. We've got 4 minutes left. I'm gonna try to finish this clock for you guys before we sign off for today.
I'm just watching you do the clock because I'm like mentally
You
dead.
are sitting on your ass.
Correct.
Indeed.
Correct.
Just remember,
100%.
it's not important to be working all the time. You know, sometimes you can take a day off like Jake. The only problem is you gotta make sure to, maintain that respectful working relationship with your team. So in this case, Jacob is pissing me off by not working. That's not what I would recommend you do with your own team. You gotta at least come up with a better excuse.
I am ill. Mentally ill.
He's not.
I am physically ill.
He's not.
I am stupid.
Folks, there you go. So don't we have, if I'm not mistaken, we have about 100 days until the actual CoasterCon event?
Around, yeah. Around
I don't know
that.
about you, but I'm quite excited.
You know, I'm not. I kind of hate CoasterCon.
Why are you here then?
I'm more of a fan of the Coasters and Crafters Awards, which, you know, if you weren't aware, it's a standalone event. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm
been
aware.
hosted since 2020, but it's a standalone event. And I'm hoping they bring it back this year, the Coasters and Crafters Awards. And, you know,
That
do it
event's
proper
going in.
justice.
That event's going on Ewan Livingstone's permanent record.
It's a crime against humanity, isn't it?
Okay, now we only have to make the clock count.
What am I gonna do for that?
I'm gonna use swords.
Sounds like a great idea. That's a really
disagree.
great little detail.
So, you know, with EAS, for those of you who are unfamiliar, it allows you to take items and scale them pretty easily. You know, I did EAS 1, I added the sword. Now I'm gonna do EAS scale 2, so this will be probably the minute hand, and then I'll have the hour hand. Bryce, I'll order the 6 in a second. Just let me finish this first.
A little bit too big of a.
Yeah, so this is what I'd refer to as too big. However, the good news is we can make it smaller. Size doesn't matter when you can rescale.
Unfortunately, real life doesn't work that way.
Oh, so at the moment, as you can see, it is something 15 minutes. But we have to decide what hour that's going to be. What hour should it be right now?
Set it to what time it is now. 6.
It's 5 for me.
This is America's time zone. Set it to 6.
This is American. No, Central Time is American. Central Standard is American.
What time is Washington D.C. in?
What time is Chicago in?
Which one's the capital?
What time is Los Angeles in?
That's. Which one's the capital? Los Angeles or D.C.?
Berlin.
You know, the hour head needs to be slightly off center since it's 6:15, not 6.
What? Oh yeah, you're right. Hold up. I haven't looked at clocks in a while.
Yeah, I could tell.
See, these are the little details you need to consider when making your clocks. They need to be like real clocks.
Yep. And then once this is done, that'll be it for today.
No, we were actually thinking about designing a few more interactive bathrooms, making the stream go on for a few more hours.
No. God, no. I
Ah!
gotta sleep.
What? You're going to bed at 7?
Take a nap. Am I not allowed
Okay.
to?
I mean, it's probably better for your health if you just stay up that little bit longer and then go to bed.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so that, my friends, is a clock. And I would say with the completion of the clock, the Watset County Courthouse is done. the Prussian-owned courthouse.
Russian courthouse in America. We
Okay.
went over everybody how to make a ride layout, the line layout, some ride scene design, and exterior work. So, you know, today it was a less focused stream, and I'm sorry about that. But there's still things to be learned from this one. Is there anything you want to say, Frozen? I think
Yes,
the
I
next
do have
stream
one
we're
thing
going to
to say.
focus. Next stream, I think we should focus on exteriors. I totally think we should.
We'll see. We'll decide at a later date.
Yeah.
Maybe if y'all could give us suggestions specifically as to what you want to see in the next stream, we can take those into account and kind of design. Maybe we can kind of do multiple topics in the next stream.
Yeah.
Well, I'm noticing one thing, and that's that we forgot to do the little wings on the sides of our courthouse. So that's
Those are separate buildings, no?
I don't know. Never really decided.
Oh, we could do that next time.
Oh yeah. All right. I think it's time to wrap things up.
Yep, I would say so too. I pretty much don't have anything else to say. Thank you everybody for attending. Thank you so much for Project New Tomorrow for allowing us to use their server to do this panel once again, to do this workshop. Complete today on mc.projectnewtomorrow.org, I believe is the website. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1.20.4. It's a great creative server. You don't have to pay anything for there's no ranks or any of that. Everybody gets the same permissions. It's great. It's simply a wonderful server. If you ever want to build anything, you don't have your own server, come here on Project New Tomorrow. It's a great place. And yeah. How about you, Frozen? Anything you want to say?
Support your local custom Minecraft theme park server.
Yes. Support custom theme park servers. Support them, support them, support them. They need the support. The more people who play in them, the better. And
Yes.
yeah, that's about it. And with that, I think I'm ready to sign off. It's been a great time, everybody, and can't wait to see you guys in the next panel where I'm going to have more energy. I'm not going to be as tired and be able to really, really get things going. And yeah, how about you, Frozen? Anything you want to say?
Support your local custom
You
Minecraft
already
theme
said
park
this.
server. I'm aware.
All right. Okay, everybody. Have a good one. Thank you so much for attending, and see you all soon.
Good night and goodbye, except for Chester, because he's evil.